Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here again, and Niven5111 on Twitter put together a Destiny 2 2022 recap that I thought we needed to check out together. I'm going to do a reaction to this because I wanted to look back at 2022, a year with plenty of ups and downs in Destiny, because I feel like even though not everything hit big in this year, it did lead us eventually to Lightfall, which I believe is going to be a turning point in the Destiny 2 franchise as we lead to the final shape. This expansion is going to be one of the biggest that we've ever seen in Destiny 2 as far as story goes, and so I'd love to take a look back and see how we got here. So let's see what it is, and yeah, I'm excited. Apologies if the quality is a little close on Twitter. Which queen? Yeah.
You Guardians are so clever. Tell me, what is true?
Legendary campaigns, banger, Sabathun, huge. 3.0 subclasses were great. We got Rolk, first disciple of the Winter Season original.
I need us to hit them.
It was very interesting because of our interaction with the title, including the Cabal to be our allies. That was massive.
Avenge your comrades, Guardian.
Saladin joining the Cabal.
Them on your spear.
Heir apparent, I think is one of the best weapons in the game right now. Season of Haunted I thought was a lot of fun. I thought it really showed some vulnerabilities in some characters. The dungeon was great. Duality, fantastic dungeon in my opinion. And yeah, I thought this season was really good. Because of all the backstory I'm always in on. Seasonal Plunder.
Crew's not really under her command.
The old crews. I've read about them. The
You got
catch killers and skiff blades.
Back.
What is the human word?
Overall aesthetic was really cool. The actual content wasn't, I think, whatever. The replayability of the seasonal content in Plunder, I think it was a little light. Season of Seraph, I think, has been a banger so far. We're early yet, we're only a little bit in, but I think this has been the best season of the year. Story-wise, the activities, the dungeon is great. We're heading into 2023, okay. Delightful. I'm excited. So this was awesome. I love looking back. So we go through all the different seasons, right? And touch on our favorites, our highs, our lows. High for me so far is Seraph, right? I feel like this season is my favorite. Heists I think are really good. They're a little bit more challenging because of the light level cap. I think the dungeon is a lot of fun. There is it might be one of the easier ones, but I think that's because we are kind of at the pinnacle now with our 3.0 subclasses, and they're just very, very strong. So I wonder if eventually we won't need those kind of tamped down a little bit, but you just feel like a just insanely powerful space god, essentially, with a lot of the builds you can make with the 3.0 subclasses right now. Heading into Lightfall, some things that we'll be carrying forward is a lot of the weapons. We saw a ton of unique weapon perks and traits, from the origin traits that I think have been very, very fun, to things like incandescence, repulsor brace, volt shot, these things that have changed our builds dramatically from what we used to think were just god rolls. So I think that's really cool. Again, the origin traits can add a little bit of benefit to a lot of different guns. Guns that used to be not as viable now have additional options. So that's awesome. Storyline wise, we went from recruiting the Cabal, we faced some nightmares and some heralds, essentially, of the Witness. We're going to face another Herald of the Witness heading into Lightfall. And Xivu Arath has popped up again. I hope we end up facing her, because Xivu has been around for a long time. We've been fighting her minions, but never really got to confront her. So it would be nice to see her as a raid boss, some kind of major boss, something like that. We do know Strand is coming, so hopefully Strand is very awesome and makes us want to hop off our previous subclasses, so that way we can really dive into Strand, and it provides so much utility and versatility and fun factor that we're going to want to do that. Other things that we've got, the exotics this year, I think there are some really, really good ones. The exotic armor, there have been some awesome ones. They've been adding intrinsic anti-champion properties to some of the armor as well, which I think is a really good way to separate them, to be honest. And overall, I think this year will look back as a transitional year in Destiny 2. It's not going to be looked at as good as something like Forsaken, in my opinion, and that whole year, which I think was overall a banger. But I also don't think it was necessarily a bad year. I think people were just deep into Destiny 2 at this point, and we're ready to hit the final confrontation of this saga. And then after the final shape, probably move on. But overall, I'm excited. I loved looking back at where we've been and where we're going in the future. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited to check that out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Obviously, loads of content coming in Destiny 2 leading up into Lightfall. I'll get everyone prepared for the new expansion, which I think is going to be fun. And yeah, I hope you had a good one. My name is JoPaWrites, and I'll catch y'all later.